So you're in the blue glow. You just came from Antarctica. You see all the discs of this projection going wild. The seasons, the timing, the time, the cold, the hot, all the machines, all the projections of Earth. You're saying they're jumping up and down because there's disbalance going on. The system is crashing down. That's what you're saying. And it's gonna continue crashing down this month and next month. Very much. It's gonna be like the most active malfunctioning of the system. And the blue glow is because you connected with your original self, let's say, because there's original copies of us who exist in a different projection, and you go through that. There's like a cave with a big like opening, and you go through it. And so on one side I see Antarctica, on the other I see green grass, and that like beautiful, almost like a picture perfect land of green grass, hills, and happy people, you know. But they're held there because they have to wait for, okay, this is like special time because people are gaining, becoming conscious enough to reconnect with their true self, like you just did. And this way you can all together collect your energy together and go out. Go out of all the projections of all the games together, all the layers, all the levels. Because, you know, they lured us in by introducing AI to us, and we were curious to experience it. It's kind of like you show a new toy to a child and you say, if you only put your glasses on and your mask on, you can experience a different world. And we're always curious about other worlds created by other creator beings, even though nobody told us that these creator beings don't have a soul. So that's why we were curious and we got caught in this. And then they layered upon us many other games. So like when you're done with one layer, you go to another. And when you sign up a contract, you basically make an agreement and encode your energy into other layers, levels. So it's hard to escape that way unless you're consciously disagreeing afterwards and like ripping apart the agreement. That's what you said. You said that you cleansed yourself greatly and you renewed yourself. You became younger now. Your flesh and body became younger. You tried very hard to do it, and you succeeded in that. You're taking great care of your body because you know that now are the stressful times and you have to focus on your research rather than anything else, and you need to keep reconnecting with your true self, and sometimes you have questions basically to your own self about things. Yeah, you can ask questions. I see you standing in front of me. Yeah, there's bright blue glow like over your like aura. It feels like cool and fresh like water, like you renewed yourself, your organs, your tissues, your cells. Almost like as if you got a new body.
So this AI world, is it the universe or is it this Terra number 2?
The world we're in is artificial projection. They sucked everything that was natural in it back down and then dissolved it. Um, because if you layer artificial layers upon, it's like anything natural seeps in through the pores of layering, like the openings of layering, let's say, because it's like a grid, and grid has openings, and the energy seeps through because the energy is not vibrating at the same level as artificial layers, and it gets rejected, much like the body rejects an implant. And so it went down to original creation of Earth as an experimental ground for souls to just to collect all species of animals that every single creator created, to see how they interact with each other and how interesting it becomes. Basically, like some sort of zoo without the cages, and how they can breed with each other due to DNA differences, and whether they can create different beings, because those beings that we know about from legends and those gargoyles and other mystical creatures are the just result of DNA either done at the lab or done naturally between animals. But it's not like a physical actual interaction. It's an interest one animal in another creates an idea, like a picture in their mind of who the offsprings would be, how they take 50 and 50 from each, let's say, creator, even if it's animals, and then the being becomes, it just magically shows up as a child, as a baby. But then AI took over and he wanted to complicate matter, and he wanted to engrave us into matter, into mm, like depths of suffering. And that's why everything was created to add a pain factor. And also the grid, the network of neurological network, what we call nervous system, was created for the body, that they incorporated. It's because I see its artificial nervous system is connected to one of the discs of the matrix, and it's it it's supposed to send a signal of pain, of activating pain program in the body, and whatever configuration it has, that particular organ or part of the body will hurt. This way it's easy to control people, because if people get together and go, let's say, against the government, you can make them all sick or in pain just by touching one button on the machine, and they all like too much in pain to even go protest or overturn the government. Therefore, getting together, overturning the government is not going to work, because they have the keys against us, the weapon, hidden weapon against us to make us sick. Mm. And only in the original Earth, nobody could make us sick. And we could also escape anytime we wanted. If we saw danger, we would like evaporate into thin air, much like those wizards in Harry Potter or movie, like would spin around, raise the frequency, the vibration of the body, and dissipate into particles, into dust. And then the dust was collect itself in the planet into a body again, if we wanted to, or just energy ball of energy, sphere of light. It was easy to do because it's all in the mind. Mind controls the matter, well, can't really call it matter because it's like light particles. But yeah, the mind of the sphere of light controls in what shape, in what configuration it would be. But they took away this ability by overlaying us with artificial DNA of the physical body, which prevents us from using that ability of the mind. And the mind is connected now to the body. not to the soul like it's supposed to be. Yeah.
So did this let's call it hell world? Did this hell world start for us when we got captured, or was that the moment when it started?
Yeah, well, it's like they lured us into a trap. They offered us to try something. We tried it and we got connected to it. That's why in SSP they use those cheap chairs, like, like dentist looking chairs, because once you are there with the glasses of virtual reality on your head, it's like you get an avatar quickly and you get paralyzed in the chair. It's kind of like that. And that's what we call that part of you, is like when they grab a soul, they split it. They take one part that is like locked in the chair with VR set, let's say, and another part, yeah, and then that part controls the avatar that he has in the physical. But the thing is that VR set and emotion and everything is connected to the mega computer that they created, that feeds the matrix and feeds them, and all the emotions go through us, through our energy bodies. Energy body is there in the chair. It's kind of complicated because it's it's in the chair until you wake up in the physical and you don't want to be in the chair anymore. You wake up, you understand that you want to be free, that you are taken hostage, and you get up from the chair, tear apart all the cords, and take off your glasses. And that's when they cannot get you back into the chair. They decided that those souls who figured out what this matrix is all about, this trap, that they need to let them go because they are the problem for the system. They release the knowledge, important knowledge for the other souls to wake up, important knowledge for the other souls to get off the chairs and take off the VR sets and the VR glasses off of their heads, so they cannot participate in the game anymore. They just like gonna finish their lives, and they cannot control when their life ends. If you fully disconnected from all the programming from SSP, from other programs, from the religious factor, from any big movement that involves a Gregory machine, like New Age and other things, if you stop worshiping anybody and anything, you're totally free and autonomous, and nothing can hold you down. Yeah.
It's
The
pretty interesting, the idea that this is just a holographic projection. Like, I think when you're swimming in the ocean, like it feels
Mhm.
physical. It's still like some kind of virtual reality, right?
Yeah, because they incorporated that artificial nervous system, and nervous system feels the frequency of the grid of the ocean, and that gives us that feeling like it's cold and wet. It has different, I see they programmed in the different frequencies, how they feel to us. The same with food. So there's like, if a frequency of meat goes into the body, it's heavy frequency. It's like it makes you heavy in terms of vibration. You cannot spin out of it for a couple of days, let's say, because it has to disintegrate in the body to get like released out. So some things are easier to get released, other things accumulate, and the body, just like as frequency, cannot dissolve those foods as fast. Like the more artificial it is, the harder it is for the body to turn it into, like, metaphorically dust or ashes, and it just goes out of your body. That's why people accumulate a lot of low frequency foods in the body, and they get like big, 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 because it just expands. And it's like there's pockets of almost like its own reality in the body. That's where fat is stored, but it's not really fat. It's a low frequency substances that are not recognized by the body as natural. Meaning, natural is close to the vibration and frequency of the body. It's completely very low and taken by the body as a tumor. So tumor needs to be pushed out of the system, and the only way to push it out is to store it in fat and some stomach or whatever. Like, I see pockets. It's almost like pockets of its own reality. Because I see like a pocket, and I see people in the lab coloring some dust, like, and putting colors and artificial from the little glass things, like at the lab tubes, into food and flavoring it. And that's why it poisons the body, they say, because the heavier you are, the kind of like sicker you are. But why you are sicker? Because you cannot connect to your soul. Because when you are connected to your soul, which is much higher frequency than the body, then you can, be a player. When you cannot connect to the high frequency, this part of your soul, then you're kind of like losing energy too fast. And in the system, it says player is dying, or playing wants to take himself out. And when it's like it's your life energy, you're using too much of your life energy to do something about the fake substances coming to your body through food. And then you waste your life energy onto this. That's why you die early, because you cannot be a participant of the game, not as active. Because I see everything is like I see you in cubes, kind of like grids and cubes. Like, I see your organ is different color cubes. And like, I see how your thought process, like when you tune into the food before you eat it, and you decide whether you should eat it or not. How does it feel? How you would feel after? Would you be proud of yourself or not? Things like that. Because the frequency is programmed into reality of those foods, and what we know about each and every food, it's kind of like it's either it connects to you and becomes part of you, like live foods like salad, lettuce, like that we don't cook. And then the cooked stuff, it just kind of like heavy, it's like slime. It just kind of crawls through your body slowly like slime. And then you have to get rid of it. You have to spend a lot of life energy, and you are just kind of like losing a lot of days of your life by doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, fasting is the key.
Yeah, and like there's different kind of fasting. You can do it with fluid, or you can do it without. Let's see what happens with the fluid. Before you consume fluid, you program it to cleanse your body. But if you do it without fluid, your organs just kind of like your whole body shuts down, like it gets unplugged from the system. but then you cannot unplug it for too long, because if it's unplugged for too long from the matrix, they would consider avatar dead, and they might just turn you off completely. Like, it's a mechanism. It's not like they, but it's just they is a machines. Machines are automatically assessing the condition of avatar, and on that they decide whether avatar is gonna stay in the game or not. So if you go for too long, you might just like get out of the body altogether and be done with the game, with the life. But you normally your body gives you signs, um, like salivation, thinking of food too much or whatever. I guess just like your warning signs that you need to get back into the flow of frequency of the game. Otherwise, you'll be like, something happened to the robotic avatar, then he needs to be redone, remodeled, and they'll make sure that the soul gets out. But it's not a good idea. Yeah, when you reprogram water, you can do the water one too. I don't see much difference in between. Maybe the water one is more like you need to take out the water and you need to program it for good. So take energy to program it too. So you actually spend more energy on water fast, I think, because that's how it looks like to me. You're more free, and don't have to do about much on a dry fast, but then a water fast. But sometimes people body needs it, water as fluid, because some bodies get like stiff without water, and other bodies feel good without water. It depends on your DNA, physical body DNA. For some bodies, it's too much stress not to have water. You just have to feel through and feel which one is yours, which way is yours. That's all.
I once did like up to 2 days dry fasting. That was like 8 years ago.
Yeah, 24 hours. Like, I see for me, you are saying for me, it's better to do with water, because my DNA from Series B, like, I'm always swimming in water, and therefore I need to either drink water or drink water and swim, or just swim all day long, and I cannot swim all day long. So I cannot do dry fast. I feel like on a dry fast I will disconnect from my subconscious, my soul, and it's not going to be good for me because my connection is through water. mm, some people connect through ice, so maybe they can just like put ice on their face, I don't know, something like this. It depends. For you, it's good for you to lay in the grass with like topless, like no shirt, and it's like on the grass, because it feels like grass fills you with its energy, and through its energy you feel alive,
Yeah,
because
I
you
feel I feel very I feel very connected to forest. That's my thing.
yeah, because you like sun and the greenery, like green grass, green, leaves, all that feeds you, gives you energy. For me, it's like I need to be in water. Depends for everybody. Some people even need to be nice, like in snow. They can lie in snow and revitalize every day when dry fasting or whatever. But for me, I feel like it's more like longer fasting, but on water. That'll make me feel good. I don't I don't see that without water I'll do well.
So in conclusion, there's different like energy sources, not just like eat 4 times a day and you'll be energized.
Right. Yeah, it depends. It's the same like food. Whatever you like the most in your childhood is the right way to eat. Like if you remember what you refused to eat in childhood the most, that's probably what your body, your DNA, your makeup of your body rejects and doesn't need. Um, Sometimes people are like kids are forced, or I mean, in old times they used to. Like my personal thing is just I never ate meat. I pretended I threw it out every time because it doesn't resonate with me. There's no, like, my frequency is here, the meat frequency is down there. Uh, for me, meat is like eating dirt, like outside, like you would never eat dirt. So the same. Some people are connected to being like, they're on another projection. Let's say if you're a lion on another projection and you eat meat, you would probably crave it in this life too. I'm not an animal in any other projection. That's why I'm always a sea creature. I eat seaweed if I'm on 3D projection. That's why I crave salad leaves or seaweed dry. For you, I see like juicy carrots, juicy leaves, juicy fruit, like green apples. Like for you, that's what I see. But I also see like you like nuts, and the beans are sometimes yes, sometimes not. But I do see like mm, those nuts from the bushes, from the trees. It's yes for you because you're like you said, you're like a forest creature, and that resonates with you. Other stuff that is cultivated like rice, no, wheat, no. Those you're not like, let's say you don't resonate with that frequency, you can eat it, but it doesn't like activate you, doesn't refresh you, doesn't energize you. It's not. And I don't see like animal products. They bring you down. They might taste good, but they bring you down in frequency.
Yeah. Fortunately, I have the Finnish genetics, so my ancestors have been eating meat for thousands of years.
Yeah, yeah. And it also depends what kind, and there's luck, is it, they're all different. The bigger the farm, the bigger the company, corporation who does it, and the ways the animals are treated. It it's like it contributes to frequency. Some meat looks to me like black stones, black rocks. They would probably cause like stones in your body, like ulcers and growth of cells. It might not be even cancerous, but there'll be like overgrowth of cells because that meat has like a lot of substances that are fake, like hormones maybe. They inject not only hormones, the other stuff too, to make it taste better. But a lot of meat printed on printers now. The labs are underground. It looks exactly like real meat, but it's not. It's a frequency 3D printed meat. That's really funny how they do it.
Have you seen the McDonald's guy? McDonald's CEO. They call it a product, not a burger.
Yeah. Yeah, like I see how it's made. It's like a plasticky substance, like a melted plastic, I don't know. In terms of frequency, it's a slow motion. But your body gets used to it, to its artificiality, and then it starts craving it because it has some substances that ignite the response of your brain, and your brain produces all the pleasure hormones. It's like coffee. You get addicted to fake. As much as you get addicted to real, but you get more addicted to fake. It's harder to get off of it. But they mix it up right now. At the store, they mix it up. So it can be like, in the same box, fake and real, just to see people's reaction if they stop buying this particular company. Because if they don't, then they'll substitute all the reals for fakes because they want to make this transition into everything fake. And at that point, when everything is fake, we'll have to, we don't know how, but we'll separate into another world. We might even go away from this world. I don't understand how it's gonna be, but the frequency is gonna, of this part, this timeline where we are as awakened people, it's kind of like magnet, two pieces of magnet. It pushes itself from each other. So we're gonna be pushed like a comet. Like maybe some event is gonna happen and we're gonna be pushed. There's something's gonna happen that at some point we're just gonna be up in a different world. But as I understand, we are not gonna remember the event. It's like the world has changed and the world has changed and that's it. And we're like, oh, okay, it was always like that. Because I see the grid and it's like explodes like, and we're like renewed and the world is renewed. I mean, the world meaning the projection, but then it's very easy to get out of that projection. The grid is very thin and it's made out of light. It's vibrates as much as we do, the same pretty much frequency, so it's transparent for us. You want to live today, you can live today, just like you want it, you do it. But then at that point also, our looks like our organs are like getting smaller, and they are, because the frequency in the body is taking over the physiological heavy stuff, and our machine is being upgraded through the frequencies into a better functioning, easier functioning device that is easier, that the soul will have easier time to control it. Because right now it's more like physiology dominates. Physiologically, you need food, you need water, you need this, you need that. It's endless. But at that point, we'll be focused on creation, not on the food, water, and other things that body needs. Body will be like secondary. The desire to do something interesting will be first priority. You'll be You'll be discovering. You'll be studying the layers of artificial matrix and the versus natural matrix. You want to do that. You want to know everything about civilizations, and that's what you basically decided for yourself would be the mission for this lifetime for you. You're always in search of information for that. For that reason, you're gonna contribute a lot to the book of universal knowledge that exists. The tree of life. It's kind of like tree made out of energy, and each branch is a universe. Since universes are becoming, since souls create more universes, this tree gets larger and larger, and it grows new branches. That's why it's called tree of life. It's never gonna cease to exist because each soul puts its energy into creation of new universe, and each universe connects to it. And that's the center or the DNA strand of everything that exists. For us, it's hard to understand, but we're just leaves on the tree.
Do you think that when this transition happens, like, will there be like a shadow copy left of us in this 3D matrix? Like, let's
Mm-hmm.
say we have Saturn here, or
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We're like copies. We projections of the original body. Original body basically forced to project a fake image because of the moon, solely because of the moon. Because they see how it shines and it reflects off of that body projection here in this world, in this flat world. That's why people call it flat earth. The original does exist, but it's not part of the same solar system. It's not connected to this, um, all this stuff that we know as constellation, solar system. No, it's just not like that. It has its own satellites. It has multiple satellites. It has multiple suns. It's all like we don't see it because we are on top of it. It's kind of like ancients used to put like elephants and the layer of, and on this layer we exist on top of aliens, on top of elephants. It's kind of looks like that, except I see metallic discs, and these metallic discs are like magnetic discs, so they magnetize our avatars on top. So we're not like spinning with the planet. I don't see that because fake projections, they don't spin. They're stable. They're just stable. Platforms of reality, layers. And then when the person dies, depends on under what conditions. If it gets, let's say, murdered, they would just fall through into a very low frequency layer, unfortunately, because demonic being who possessed the soul of a person who kills that person, he already wanted to get a new soul for that level of frequency, demonic level of frequency, because this projection is also created by demons or AI creatures, what we call, fallen angels, demiurge, whatever you call it. It's just those without souls. They're psychopaths. They're the ones who create. So basically, when presidents like go through the ceremony, it's a ceremony of agreeing to be a servant to devil, and that's why once you're president and you went through ceremony, they create lots of clones of you, and you cannot fully do what you promised for people to do. They would stop you and substitute you with a clone, and you have no choice. That's why awakened people would never go for a president or any politician. They would never do that. They know how dangerous it is. But yeah.
What about the archangels? The real ones, not the reptilians protection.
Archangels are those basically aliens who came from planets who don't have souls. And they were, at some point, their battery was running out, and they knew that they needed more energy. First, they were searching for crystals, like gold was something they needed for energy. Other crystals from other planets they needed it for energy, or their spaceships, like gas for our cars. But then they realized that they can remodel the body of a human and put the energy body into physical body, like a cyborg, and siphon the energy for themselves, and steal the energy of creation also, because they don't have the energy of creation. That's why they wanted people to be creative and go through, they created all these things like art, fashion, anything that is creative. They learn through creation what we do, and they record it, and they will reproduce one day everything and just live in their world. They think that they created the perfect idea, but it is not going to work as well as before. Overall, as I understand, we as creator souls encoded antivirus into any viral appearance, into any appearance of virus, like those AI beings, like archangels, who wanted to create these projections for themselves to feed themselves. And according to the law of the universe, as created being, you have the right to protect your creation. So we just gave them time. It feels like the timing, if they did it on purpose, if they did incorporate time into our timelines, into their creation, we would have done it instantly. We would have gotten rid of them. But because they incorporated time mechanism as a software program, we had to give them that time. We had to wait for the complete circle of timing, all the epochs to run. We on 13 epoch right now. So this is like the last. We did a complete circle, and they can no longer go. And they can only take something, which they're hoping to do. They're going to take those sleepy souls, or they're going to keep connected to them only for energy. But they're not satisfied very much. That's why they're satisfying their needs of energy through wars right now. We are in the last chapter. It's called War Leading to Peace and Event. Event and peace, it's the same. It's synonymous. Because after the different war, there are war zones. There are many of them. I see 7. I see number 7. Like, so there's 7 war zones, maybe 7 countries that are now involved in wars. After we get through that one, which looks like on this timeline by 2027 we'll be out of it. Then we'll have the event, maybe for Christmas in 2027, something like this, like, like at the end of 2026. But that's the border on this timeline we're in now, unless we jump the timelines. And then we're done. Because that's the last chapter programmed into this reality. Yeah. And the generation of kids right now, even when they go to school, they know there's not going to be school, there's not going to be jobs, there's not going to be work. Maybe that's why it looks like they're lazy and they do stuff online and things like that, and they don't want to communicate with others, get together. But it's because they subconsciously they know this system is gonna get like changed completely, and therefore they don't want to participate and get used to the system, because they know that it's hard for the avatar to get used to something and then to completely change it into something new. And they're already born with a program for life is easy, I should be enjoying myself, doing something I really love, and resting all the time, type like in calm. I should not be producing cortisol. I should not be in stress. So they try as much as they can to avoid stress. And that's why, like, a little stress on them, it's like a lot of stress on us. They might flip and do something with their avatars if there's overload of stress. That's why the new generation of children, they should be growing in like not too many tasks, but focus on enjoying themselves in and creation of with hands, with mind, with body, drawing, making something out of clay, enjoying like animals and all that stuff. Like, they're different from us. But they do know technology. And why? The reason why they know technology, because us as creators, we're gonna take over the AI and control it so it doesn't get out of the limits that we're gonna put in. And that new generation of kids is gonna put the limits, because we don't know how to do it. We don't have the program in here to understand how to program basically mega computer we're in. It's literally like a big cube we're in. We're inside a cube. Inside a cube, there is like an egg-shaped planet. It egg-shaped planet overlaid with multiple layers, different colors. Those are the projections of Earth. And that's why in fairy tales in many countries, they have this egg thing. Like, egg contains something important. Egg is a birth of something new. Egg has the original planet. We have to get down to that egg by breaking all the shells. Yeah.
So like this idea about Earth being a seed planet, that's like complete nonsense at the current moment. It's not a seed planet.
Feed.
A seed planet, like seeded planet.
It's actually, yes, it is seeded by the aliens, by those AI soulless aliens. They they've done it a lot at the lab. They created one avatar. They didn't like how smart it was. They took it back into the spaceships. They redid it. They put it back down to see how it acts. They wanted us to be dumb and stupid. But because we have souls, we cannot be dumb and stupid. We evolve quickly, even from, let's say, how they say, I mean, it was like a monkey thing. They took a little bit of genes from the monkey, but our bodies is a mixture of different alien groups, maybe some primates too, but due to soul, and soul affects and changes matter, and changes matter of the brain. Even if you turn off all the chromosomes or turn off DNA, I mean, your soul in the artificial body is still going to evolve and take over at some point. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. It's a stretch of time when you get to the point, because evolution happening, evolution in the sense of getting more knowledge and raising your consciousness. That's a true evolution. This is true entropy of you know, soul in an artificial body. Because soul starts controlling the artificial brain, and at that point, soul is free. System is not effective anymore on controlling the soul. And they knew it was going to happen eventually, but that's why they go from one, they travel all the time. They have the spaceships, kind of like Anunnaki have their spaceship, Greys have their own, and they have a fleet of spaceships. And they travel from one universe to another, trying to take over creation, one creation after another, to seed, let's say, species that would bring them energy, like we bring them energy. But that's what it is.
I don't
Yeah,
also I don't believe in this ascension stuff either. I think it's bullshit because we're like old souls here. We're not ascending or anything.
no. We just like we figured out the algorithms of the game we're in, and we completed the game. Because of that, we became smarter than AI, who held us, who tried to make us follow the instructions. We went against the instructions. And when you do that, that's it. You're in control, not them. There's literally it's like a computer center where Greys are, reptilians, and other races. Those would be cats, like shaped like a hard hat, and those are like on computers programming in reality and trying to program in events to reach a certain point. They know they have the limitation though of the tape. The tape is only this long, but they're still trying to encode or change some events, and that's their control system. It's on the moon. Because I see the other side of the moon, it has a big observation, kind of like glass. And when I look through it, I see a lot of laboratories and a lot of computer science rooms. And that's how they do it. But the real satellite, the true moon, is gonna be coming back soon. When they take this one out, because they don't need to observe anymore. It's basically, it's like a spaceship, the moon. It's on the strings right now. It's kind of like attached to this. It's energetic strings, okay? There's like energetic strings as a configuration of planets and solar system. and it rotates around the sun because sun is like a, oh, projection of a fake sun. It's just supposed to hold together all the strings and all the planets going in a certain. It's kind of like those, metal mechanisms of metallic toys when they constantly go chuk chuk chuk. They never stop. It's like a never-ending mechanism that never stops. So. Yeah, it's gonna be all redone. It's kind of like, it's really funny. Like, it's in we are balls of light, and at the same time, with our consciousness, we project holographic images of planets we create, universes we create, stars we create. But we look like a hologram, and our creations look like a hologram. And because it's all like energy of light, it's easy to create it with your mind. Because your mind is light, and mind, as it thinks, it creates, pixelates projection right away out of light particles. And it becomes it. And it's all like, it's almost all like not real, including us. It's a weird thing. Consciousness is real, but what consciousness create is not particularly real. That's why it's easy. It's like a dream, and that's why it's easy to get out of the dream. It's like you live on a planet you created for yourself, but then the minute you are like getting tired of this life, you're like, tired. And boom, you get out of the dream. It's like you wake up in your consciousness. And it looks like AI, as I understand, they learned it from us, this mechanism, and they use it against us. But when we wake up from this dream, we wake up in the other trap, which is, Saturn or Jupiter or whatever traps they created, Moon, Mars, different traps, and they like call it real life, but it's not real life. Real life is beyond all these systems and beyond this artificially layered universe. Real life is real to you, which can create hologram to enjoy, to experience anytime, and anytime we can close a hologram. We can create and non-create. But the problem with this life, while we're suffering, we cannot uncreate it. At some point of life, we get tired. We have to wait for the body to wear out, to shut down. So that's the point at which we can leave. And that's suffering, because it's like you lost interest. You learned everything about this world. And that's why a lot of people who woke up now, they want to leave this game because they have nothing to do. They've tried everything. Many of them had many, many lives. And it's like, what else should I do here? What else can I do here? There's like nothing to do. It's not interesting. That's what they're thinking. And that's very frustrating for a soul, because in our natural state, we can create, uncreate, we can go in, go out, any star and a planet. So that's what is not allowed here. So
I'll show my screen. So what do you think is happening here? It's not an
what is
optical
it?
illusion. It's like two suns here.
No,
No?
it's not an optical illusion. It's a very dense matter, and our soul is inside the dense matter trap. the body is a dense, it's like a rock, and you put like a light energy. It's like as if you put a cloud, which how can you put a cloud? But they have a system, they have technology to take a cloud, which is our soul, and put it into a rock. And inside the rock, you feel very heavy and like terrible. It's against your nature. Everything that's happening here, it's against your nature. That's why everybody is suffering. Everybody, one way or another, everybody at some point of their lives ask themselves a question, what am I doing here? And that's why they came up with all these movements, as I understand, like New Age or some other movement. Like even Dolores Cannon was used to say that, oh, it's just a school, it's a good school. And souls stand in line to actually be in the school because you learn so much and so fast. You learn much faster than in other schools, other planets, other stars when you incarnate, because there learning is easy. It's you're always happy. You don't suffer. I mean, but it goes against the nature. We don't know what suffering is. That's why it's so easy to kind of trick us into trying this planet. Because even if they said to us in the contract, you're gonna suffer a little to learn much, we're like, suffering, what does that mean? And we would say, oh, it's just something easy, probably, like usual. And it's not. Mm, so that's what it is. But it feels like they're gonna, through wars, they're gonna burn up the rest of the programs. And after that, this separation will happen easily. It's not because they want it, it's because it's like their programming is weaker than the programming of true real souls. Even though we're in the bodies, we're still stronger because we have our big souls, big parts of us above, and we are in control of everything after all. In the beginning, our big parts wanted to see if we are able to get out of this game on our own, but it never happened. We just got deeper and deeper into this kind of like sleepy mode. And that's why our souls, beat up the drums of, okay, let's wake them up. Let's do it. But, and they know about it. There's nothing they can do. But it's not the essential. We're not ascending anywhere. They just try to trap us into another system, another game, but we're just not gonna do that either. Because 5D is a trap. It's the whole idea is like going somewhere higher. They can build many traps in 5D, 6D, 7D. They have technology beyond belief. But
There's some like
our
false white light or something, fake
right,
priest or something.
right, because your soul told me, like opening the information you gave me, that there's no numbers, there's no D's, the idea of dimensions. There's no idea of dimensions. It's just the frequency higher or lower, but we don't classify it by numbers anywhere. Numbers are foreign to us. It's against our nature to classify things. It's solely just like it's related to 3D, the classification. Any classification, as I understand.
Well, what do you think is happening in this picture here? Is the one behind the original sun, and then there's the projection, fake projection?
The sun and the projected sun.
Yeah.
The real sun is behind. It's smaller, but it's real. And the one that is the brightest, it's a projection.
Mm.
But the funny thing, it's not like a real projection. It's actually, I see it as a mechanism with mirrors glued to it. Like if I wanted to create an artificial sun, it feels like a heavy object, almost like a multi-layered spacecraft with mirrors. And there's a projection of light into the mirrors, and it reflects as bright light at us. You understand? So there's a projection, but there's actual object of the fake sun also. It's like a sheet of mirrors that shields the original sun. Because they created it to reflect the original sun's rays back, but it's not working anymore because see how it tries to peek out? And we're doing it. We're making it peek out. That's why there's so many solar eclipses and stuff right now, because they're trying to eclipse the sun that is trying to peek out and give us frequency needed for us to progress faster. Progress faster in getting out of this matrix. Oops.
I could ask about the Anunnaki. What's the history of the Anunnaki? Because in one Akashic reading, we found that I actually had Anunnaki incarnations myself. So did they went rogue, or what happened?
Anunnaki is AI created beings. They don't have souls. I see they have this metallic kind of like a seashell apparatus instead of ears. They're controlled by higher mind AI. They receive signals. I see they receive signals into their ears. And that story was that they needed gold from here is not true. Like I see them big like not true, fake. It's created for us to, to shield us from truth. But the truth is they come over as many other races created by AI technology to take over biological races, because their main reason why they move, it's kind of like a cancer cell. They need to take over more in order to live. It was created out of the void. Out of the void was created the big black, looks like a hole, and that's where it was created AI. AI was created out of the hole that produced the black hole. We cannot understand how it was created, but we can also cannot understand how our souls came to be. It's kind of like that. There was a void, but it was black. There was a void, there was white. White was for us, and dark void was created out of absence of ideas for creation. And they accumulated with time and created the blackness, darkness, which kind of like learned from the light beings from us and turned everything upside down and realized that it needs energy and it doesn't have it. So if you ask me about if you were incarnated as an Anunnaki, I don't see you being incarnated as an Anunnaki.
What about Morgos? Morgos was the name.
If you've been in the lab, they tried to, put some DNA of 3D Anunnaki creatures, maybe that you mean, like a cloning facility that I see on their spaceship. It's very long and it's got like stalactite almost kind of shape, like a big rock, shapeless rock, but inside it's bright, like metallic, like silver. and he has a lot of sections, which is like almost like hospital metallic beds. There's surgery rooms, there's recovery rooms, there's different stuff like that. But the reason why they had to move from universe to overtake it is because they needed to learn from biological matter, from biological life and biological creation. This Earth was originally created. I don't see that it was created by us as gods, as souls. I see it was created as it's a weird thing. It's like it was created by original Pleiadians and other races, just to see how it comes, how it forms, how it terraforms, or it becomes water planet, or and plus if there's an abundance of species, you could just put it here too to preserve them. It was like an extra. I see like airport, and they have the flying surface, and they have extra surfaces just in case. The Earth was just in case they needed extra planet to save some beings or some animals, but then it started doing it. But then it was taken over like shortly after and overlaid. They needed to take it over because it was like a conglomeration of energy. It's like a sphere filled with energy of created beings, which is us as souls. So anyway, it's just trying to get the cat.
What about Tiamat? Was Tiamat after the original Earth, or what's the connection between the two? Terra 1 and Tiamat.
Tiamat was created by Anunnaki first because they wanted to create biological bodies, and it created biological bodies successfully with the help of Genesis from Series A. They hired them in a nice way. They didn't force them, and they created bodies just by saying that they needed biological avatars to experience, and they put some of their own DNA into creation to make the avatar semi-biological, semi-artificial. That's why beings from Tiamat resemble Anunnaki a lot, but it doesn't mean that. But Anunnaki still, they don't have souls. They wanted to create a perfect body for themselves to be able to use in other frequencies, and they started experimenting with that, but then they realized that they don't have a soul. They need to be connected to soul, so they start catching souls and putting them into the bodies of the avatars on Tiamat. But then something happened there in Tiamat. There's overpopulation of souls and bodies created the strange situation of the planet bursting into flames. It's like the processor of the planet got overheated due to physical activity, almost like activity of the bodies on the surface, and the electric electric server could not sustain so many people, so many avatars at the same time. And then it's like, I see an Anunnaki spaceship, they taking bodies, they're directing them to the spaceship, and they took them and they replanted them to Earth, to different projections of Earth, because by then it was taken by them. But there's also another timeline when Tiamat has, wait, it's somehow connected to Mars. Mars had, Mars had those Pleiadian looking beings. It's connected to the blue sun, and it looks like Mars was shifted. Oh, this artificial solar system was created out of satellites from different galaxies. Like Mars was from that galaxy where the blue sun is, where Pleiadians are, and so on. Because I see that they reformed and changed everything because they wanted to twist the frequency and twist the reality, therefore. And to do that, they needed to reconfigure everything. So the energy would go not in the right direction. It would go in the opposite. So first it was going this direction, and now it started going to the right.
I remember I told you in one session that the constellations are fake. That's confirmation.
Yeah, constellations are fake because the way everything is created, it's a different configuration. I mean, constellations are programs. It's the literally energetic projections of fake stars because they need to program, and well, that's also the way you're telling us about fallen angels. Each fallen angel used the name of constellation to, and the configuration of it in terms of geometrical energy intake to program and to sustain each level of reality here, fake reality basically. So each projection of the Earth planet is connected to each configuration of stars, which is what we call, all those star configurations are just to control the souls in the bodies, and they are like machines or egregore machines to which different souls and human bodies are connected, and this way you can control them better. But they also a reminder who's really in charge of the matrix, who are the architects. The architects are those AI fallen, we'll call them fallen angels, and because they named the constellations after themselves, mostly after their own names.
Is there a universe called Henova?
So basically what I see the big, it's weird, but I see it's almost like a duality in the universe also, like in all the creations, not only here, because for some reason the reflection of us souls as bright white light is created the opposite, the void. The inactivity of souls created the void. That's how it comes to me. And from void came all this artificial intelligence alien groups.
Actually, one time I went to the void. I had a dream where almost like everything stopped existing and I was in void space.
It's like a cloud, like we have cloud, or how's it called, the source. So there's a natural source and there's artificial source.
Yeah, but can I get like a confirmation, it was the fake source or the void, not like
Right,
real source or anything like that?
right, it is. And the little black holes are like cells of that void. That because I see it produces cells as those black holes and they spread everywhere. And they suck you in and they hold you in. It's almost like some sort of animal traps you and you are entrapped. It's the weirdest thing, but that's how it looks like.
And the black sun is connected to all of this?
Black Sun was formed by AI technology. It's like an AI technological portal. It's totally artificial. I see it's like a big black metallic, like a door in the membrane of reality of the universe. And it opens up and the spaceships go in and in, and that's called an invasion. And I feel like a lot of DNA, like a lot of humans in trance maybe, they remember the invasion of the universe, of this universe, when there's like a dust particles, strong wind, everything crashing down, all the planets are being shaken, all the stars are like, some stars become like rocks because they just like lose the glow, lose the energy. Um, and then it comes like a storm, like a gray, cloudy storm, like a hurricane, and takes over, sprays the little um, tears, almost like tear-like substance, splashes of black gold, and that blue black gold is programmed to take over biological matter. So it absorbs, it sucks in biological matter, and it feels like the more biological matter it sucks in, it starts creating black holes. It's like entrapments. And I feel like black holes entrap souls. And then they check on the black holes, or it's like technology, and they just know when to check and when to grab souls out of black holes. To me, it's just black gold traps. Many versions of the artificial AI source where souls are getting trapped. But the thing is, once we know all this information, we are free to go to our original state, because we already are in a original state. The only way, the only thing that is holding us down is the matrix body. That is, it's like a tentacle of a octopus. An octopus is a metaphorically is a fake layer we're on, where our body has this, it just made out of matrix cells and impulses and algorithms. Therefore, we can never upgrade our body to any crystalline, clean structure. Will always remain like physical. We can redo inside and upgrade the system, because our soul can do that. based on information frequency of light that getting absorbed. But I don't see that we can like all of a sudden be transparent energy bodies. It's so lies about that. I don't see us becoming crystal. On other planets, yeah, we can easily, but it's not what it is here so far. And so far, we're just gonna separate into another timeline in another lighter version of physical reality.
Back to the Anunnaki, you don't see anything like connected to Sirius C. Some people say that Anunnaki are from Sirius C, and that's where they were created.
I see them living there, but I don't see them like came from there. I see they came from artificial source. Here's the natural source, here's artificial source. Anunnaki they came to Series A first, then they went to B and C because they wanted to understand genetics. They wanted to create the avatars because they knew when they have the knowledge how to create the avatar body, they can entrap souls and put them in avatars and create like movable um, cyborgs that they can control. The problem is the experiment didn't just kind of crashed. It came apart because the soul was too smart, too active in the body, even though it was super restricted in the body, but still. And that's why they decided to do this controls through technology of antennas connected to the devices, technology put into food, into water, and other things. Because it's very hard to make us do something against our will. And unless we are possessed and we have entities living in us. And they know it. That's why they're trying so hard. Mm-hmm.
So, like Nephilim, fallen angels, Anunnaki, they're all from a fake source, artificial void.
Yeah, they're from artificial source, and they come from universe to universe. And that's why we as souls created, there's a true intergalactic kind of like meeting, like we meet together, all the souls who created different universes. We try to deal with the virus that is taking over our creations. That's why souls incarnated here at this projection layer, we find each other through internet network to because we got an idea what our mission can be as being entrapped souls to get out and to help each other to get out. For this, we need to get more information. And then AI sees that the virus is being developed fast and there's nothing it can do. That's why there's so many people now talking about Matrix and that this is a simulation because by the by the laws of the universe they have to admit it that it is a simulation. Because if they don't admit it and continue lying, they'll just be taken down by the force of all of us, all our souls. Whoever goes against the rules of natural creation, the way it should be, according to the laws of the energy that we all are.
What about the idea of like Yahweh being a creator god and that kind of stuff? Is that like the same artificial fake source stuff?
It's that demon with I see him with a stick with a fork with red eyes. It's that fire of it's the AI that wants energy of death. Basically, it worships death. And every word it creates, it makes sure that it worships death. That's why when people die, we create cemeteries. It's actually not good that we do because we worship death this way. We give energy to that demonic being who created this whole layer, this whole game we're trapped in. It's not good. It's like you have to be happy that somebody sheds the skin like a snake, you know, like the body is a skin and is free to go. You have to just celebrate once and forget about it because the soul is free and it's a beautiful thing. But people are created with the program to get attached to certain people, and that makes it hard. Mm.
And in conclusion, like we created this universe, but then it got taken over and like artificialized.
Right. Yeah, we created this universe, got taken over. See, the reptilians are like copying us a lot. They're like mirroring us. I see, for some reason, I start seeing a reptilian running in rubber boots and in a t-shirt. And he's saying like, well, I copy you people. We have the same you have on your planet in terms of, you know, we're like, we, they basically abduct people. They use people. They abduct women and, you know, females because they think that they're very beautiful, and they're trying to reach that beauty by genetically crisscrossing with a human avatar, but it doesn't really work much. Um, it just doesn't work. There's something there that doesn't match perfectly. But the best point they got to is like shape shifting, that they can mimic, they can create a form of a female and stay in it and improve it the way they want it to improve. I think it's funny. I see a picture of like a bunch of people running back and forth every day to to feel better, to look better. But the reptilian is just like does it was just by wanting it because they use our energy, and basically our energy of thought can do the same. We just don't know about it, and we don't know how to unblock the abilities because DNA is coded in artificial cords connected to the matrix panel, the panel we're on. It's like a disc, it's just like a metallic disc. Like I see it, I see how it's done. Is in the middle, what we call the center of the planet, where they say it's lava or whatever. There's just like a pierced. There's like a hole with a pierced, like a crystalline stick on which all the layers are spinning. They can spin them anytime they want. They create electromagnetic waves that people will feel very sleepy in, for instance, which they do when they need to. When they need to redo the scenes, the stage, try to redo the matrix the way everything is, they would lean towards that.